Alright YouTube, welcome back to another episode of the Ford Ranger. We've got a big update. We've almost completed everything in the engine bay, from turbo setup to fuel. Right now you can hear Danny in my bed right now, chopping out the bed because we're putting the fuel tank in the bed of the truck. And then we've got to run all the lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys kind of what we've done so far, kind of what it looks like, what's left to do, and what we have done. So let's go check it out. So these are the Rev 9 wastegates that we've put on. We went from twin turbo to single turbo because with these headers it was really hard to put another turbo in here, so we went with a bigger than my twins. So this is a 7875 VS Racing turbo with the Rev 9 wastegates here. We've got our tail blow off valve just over here. It looks really nice. We've got our vibrant intercooler is back in here now. So it's very sleek, very low key behind there. It's been braced to this, so all this is nice and sturdy. There used to be a hole here for the for the rad cap. We actually removed that. And now we have down here, right there, that is for the rad cap to be able to drain it. We have removed the decapped injectors that were absolutely junk, and we have 80-pound injectors in there for right now. We went from electronic throttle body to cable throttle body. A big component and reason why we did this is because under large boost, you can get some flutter and the electronic might shut it. So this is all controlled by cable, which is really nice. BMS got a new alternator because before the alternator that I had didn't charge, and that's why it was dying, and also the tune was killing it. We got the Flow Pro, I believe, Flowtech headers, and like, look at these welds, okay? So look how nice this looks. And then for the exhaust actually comes all the way down. So you can see it here. It came off the turbo. Let's get it in focus here. And then it goes all the way down, follows the frame. And let me grab this light here. I'll show you. It'll be a little easier to see. You see how it goes down? And then it goes all the way. For now, we're having a little dump right there, but our plan is to go all the way to the back. And this guy's bothering me while I'm trying to work. So yeah, so this is it in a nutshell. Maybe I'll put some additional light here, but we're going to put the battery here. We also have Danny's doing the fuel stuff. There's that, the fuel lines, all the parts, old rims. Those are going to go on the front maybe, or the rear. I don't even know what I'm doing with it. But here's a bunch of parts for my truck. This is the expansion tank. This is my what do you call these? Oil catch can. There's my old turbos. There's another of the old turbos. Let's go check out what Danny's doing in the back here. So this is essentially what Danny's doing with the fuel cell. We cut the hole. We're going to clean up the bed. The bed's in really good condition, so we'll clean that after. But we've got the 10-gallon fuel cell. and it's going to get bolted in, which it's already kind of bolted, run the lines underneath, and then we've got the inline pump, so that way it's got maximum pressure, best fuel, and it should be able to provide good fuel to make this car go. Front rims, we still got to find skinnies for it, but that won't be very hard. The rear rims look absolutely nasty. Look at these. And then as for the interior, there is one big change. And that big change, well, I need to replace the seat. Look at how fucking lean that is. That's because my fat ass leans and it's broken. So we went back to stock steering wheel. And the reason is because the Amazon one that I had was absolutely junk. So we're just gonna go with stock steering wheel until I actually find one. The Holley's gonna go here. Right now we have the 3.5 inch, but I'm gonna go with the 7-inch dash. I'm actually gonna take that out and probably put it inside. Otherwise, I'm gonna lay it on the dash, and then I'm gonna create a glass that kind of, or a piece of plastic that kind of trims out and put it over top of it, so we still keep the original in there. Just depends on what I do with it. We're gonna keep the same shifter here. I might get a raised up one just so that way it's a little higher, but right now my transmission is not really meant for the manual shifting. It's a complete stock OEM transmission on a rebuild, so I don't expect it to last that long. So what he's cutting right now, right there, is for underneath the bed of the truck to hold the brace up so it doesn't move around. I'll show you that now. Okay, so there's a bolt there and a bolt there. You can see how it's kind of uneven right here. So that bar is gonna go underneath these right here, and that way it'll hold it up and secure it to the bed. And then here's obviously gonna do one for the back side to make sure it's good. We need to get some aluminum, 5x5 sheets, well, it'll be 4x8, but we're gonna get it cut out. One sheet here, and then piano hinges across, so that way I can lift the back up in order to still put fuel in the tank here. So, and of course, it's being built at BMS. Now we got to put the brackets on the bottom like we did on the front. Hold that nicely down. So now that we're under the truck and I can show you the exhaust better. Here's the exhaust and it runs down. Let me get the light. And it comes out here, but it's V-band in the back there. So that way, when we do want to actually go all the way out, we can. But for now, we're just gonna run it like this and have some fun. But I do eventually want to get it out of there and run it all the way back. And then we got to some shotgun wastegates. Check those bad boys out. Those are running off the Rev 9 wastegates, and they're just gonna shoot flames out. Here's we're putting all new brakes on it. Might even need a tie rod. That's looking pretty sketchy as fuck, so Adam's definitely gonna have to put a tie rod on that. This side also looks pretty cooked. We'll put new tie rods on it. Alright, I did videotape this 2 seconds ago, but I forgot to turn the mic on. So this bracket right here, you're gonna see it like this. Danny's custom making that so that way the ABS pump doesn't move around. Obviously it moves, it's not tightened, but it stays in line there, as well as he has the fuel pressure regulator here is gonna have to go on that. So it's gonna go on the side there, keep everything tight as it should be, not like the previous build we had there before. Well, that was flopping around while I was driving. Scary shit. All right. So we've got the bracket on. Danny created the bracket here. Let me get that in focus. So there's the fuel pressure regulator, and the ABS pump is all secured in there now with this bracket. It's not going to move around. He's now creating all the fuel lines. So this line is going to go to the fuel rail right here. It's going to run along into the back, into there. And then on the other side, I don't know if you can see it right here, that's actually from the feed line that goes to the fuel pump from the fuel cell. So he's going to do that. You also got to create a bracket. There's 2 brackets here on it. We're going to create a third one to just reduce any moving on that. So it's coming along really good. Still got to do some of the lines. There's still a bunch of little things that have to be done, but that's the update so far. It's gonna be nice and hidden. You won't even see the fuel lines if you're standing back from far enough. See how hidden that is? You can barely see it. Right there.